Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to talk about pullover sit-ups with a kettlebell and a plate and maybe a dumbbell. So our pullover sit-up, you'll see this a lot in CrossFit, and there's a bunch of different versions in CrossFit, but it's basically lie down on the ground, pull all the way over. We're going to show you just a slightly techier version of this that I do with kettlebells. This exercise, our pullover sit-up, is part of our pullover sit-up progression. We have a exercise before this. Check out the video, flat back pullover. This is the next stage. So the flat back pullover, we just pulled over and we resisted extension. The heavier the weight, the more the weight tried to pull our spine into extension, and our job in the previous exercise was to resist extension by pushing our rib cage down into the ground. Now what we are going to do is actually do the sit-up. The same thing is true for this activity as it is for the flat back pullover. Rib cage down at the bottom. Rib cage down at the bottom, which means lower back flat. What we don't want to see is the rib cage extension and then compression. We want to hold this tight the whole time as we sit all the way up. As with our other kettlebell versions, we are going to grab and we are going to go bottoms up with the kettlebell. We're going to put our arms at about 90 degrees. We're going to get our feet flat on the ground. From here, we are going to go all the way down. This is our flat back pullover. Here's our flat back. Here's our flat back pullover. Elbows squeeze tight together, rib cage pushes down. Rib cage pushes down. We are resisting this extension in this version of this exercise. Rib cage down, tuck the tailbone if need be, grab with two hands, get the weight close to your head. Not on your head, but really close to your head. Elbows squeeze tight together, pull all the way over. Here's our sit-up, extend the spine. Collapse back from the center of the spine, lower back touches the ground, all the way down, elbows stay tight together. Pull over, sit up, mild extension at the top of the spine. Flexion, touch. So this version of this exercise is all spine flat. There are other versions of this exercise where your spine and you actually emphasize the extension. This is the one I always teach first. If you can't resist extension, then you should learn to resist extension. So think of this once again as a poor man Pilates kettlebell exercise. Push the rib cage down as hard as you can. Let's look at the bumper plate version of this exercise. Bumper plate version. Crush grip. I don't like to use the thumbs. Some people do. I don't. So crush grip on the plate. And now instead of finishing in 90 degrees here, we are going to finish probably with the plate on the ground. From here, all the way down, resist extension in the spine, pull over sit up, extension. If at the bottom, you let your lower back arch up and your rib cage flares, then you've given up the tension. The point of this is to hold the tension in the abs. Crush it down as hard as you can. Sit all the way up. Resist extension. Every time your ribs flare up and down, you're giving up the time under tension. There are versions that do that specifically. Ab mat versions of this, very specifically, are for going beyond flat. Those are more advanced versions of this exercise. We'll make more videos about that in the future. The dumbbell version of this exercise is a lot dicier, right? Because it's hard to hold on to. You're not getting your hand all the way around any particular thing. Because this is the only one I have, the lightest one I have here is a 40. You have to tiger claw the end of this and make sure you don't drop it on your skull. Doing this with dumbbells is way more dangerous than doing it with plates, and it's way more dangerous than doing it with kettlebells. I think the kettlebell is the safest version of it because you can wrap your thumbs all the way around and do a locking grip. The dumbbell, you don't get to do that. So I consider this to be the more dangerous version of the activity. From the center, mild extension of the spine, collapse it back, flex, 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 all the way down. Squeeze your elbows together. Pull over sit-up all the way up. Collapse down, lower back is connecting to the ground. Keep your rib cage down, elbows squeezed tight together. Pull over sit-up all the way out. The dumbbell version is fine as long as the reps are low. The more tired you get, the dicier it's gonna get because you cannot wrap your hands all the way around anything. You've got to grab this whole thing, and most people have terrible grip in general anyway, and most people do not have good tiger claw grip, as we like to call this grip. This one is easier because I can get my hand, much more of my hand all the way around it, and if I had to, I could use my thumbs. The kettlebell version is the safest because I can wrap my hand all the way around and I can use my thumbs. The thing that separates us from everything else on the planet is our ability to do this. This is why we can hold clubs, hammers, shovels, all levers of all kind, which is the basis of all tools. This is what separates us, so I like this grip the most. This has been Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica.